You can start.
Okay. The Architectural Review Board of the Town of Southampton now come to order. Welcome to the October 19th, 2021 meeting of the Town of Southampton Architectural Review Board. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with Chapter 41 of the laws of 2021, until January 15th, 2022, all the board's meetings are expected to be held remotely via video conference. So we ask the public to continually check the town's website for updates and new information. As a reminder, applicants, agents, and members of the public who speak at this meeting should state their name and address for the record. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website at the town clerk's meeting portal. If you do not wish to speak at the meeting, but you would like to submit comments for the public record, the link to submit comments can also be found on the town's website. Now we'll have since Mr. Rump, the vice chair, is out due to medical, Mr. Burke, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure, will do.
Okay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, thank you, Mr. Burke. And since Mr. Jankowski, he's traveling right now, but I think he can hear us. But I'll have.
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, would you perform the roll, please?
Yep, Mr. Chairman.
Here.
Ms. Keys
Here.
and Mr. Burke.
Here.
All right, Mr. Rump is absent, so we do have a quorum.
Thank you, Mr. Jankowski. Did the board members review the minutes of the October 5th, 2021 meeting? And were there any errors or omissions?
None. Motion to approve?
Yes.
I'll second that.
And a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much on that. Is there any old business to come before the board? If none, then we'll start with the published agenda. The first is a site plan review, GTB Real Estate Group, 91 Montauk Highway, West Hampton. Are the applicants available?
Two people raising their hand.
Excuse me?
There are two people raising their hand. Charles will let them in. Three.
They're coming in now.
Okay.
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 Good morning, Chair and board members.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Jankowski, the lead for the area, is traveling. He can hear everything. It's just that I don't know if he's going to be able to see a lot, but he will do what he can. And would you, I don't know which one of you would like to present to the board the application?
I'm going to start the presentation. And then I also have Joe Spano, who's a member of the GTB Real Estate Group, is going to, kind of review what their theme for the redevelopment of this site is. And then we have Peter McBride, who's the actual architect. And I'm going to just start off brief presentation on the context of where this site sits, its existing site characteristics, and briefly what's being proposed. If I can share my screen and jump in.
You may.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so the subject site, as shown on this aerial photo, is the property that is highlighted in orange. It is located at 91 Montauk Highway, West Hampton. It is the old site of what originally, when I was a kid, was a old jeans sandwich shop. But most recently, I believe it was the Beach Bar, was a nightclub. The site is 2.4 acres, currently developed with a one-story, 6,200 square foot building with 2,500 square feet of patio area, and does enjoy an updated CO for, and I'll just quote it out of the CO. It's a 2-bedroom apartment, restaurant, bar, nightclub, game room, and open front restaurant. It does have a rated occupancy currently of 584 persons. As you can see, this site is within the motel zone. Directly to the east is the Westhampton Motel. Further to the east is the highway business zoning. So we're on the south side of Montauk Highway across from Seabreeze Avenue. Directly across the street to the north is the seasonal farm stand. Recently went through site plan review. And to the southwest and further to it, just let me back up a second. That farm stand is a pre-existing non-conforming use located in the R40 zone. But from the southwest and north, it's primarily residential in character. If you look at the area fronting on Montauk Highway directly to the west, it was part of a subdivision, and there was a requirement for a vegetated buffer for the first 50 feet of those residential lots. So the proposal is to redevelop this, which is kind of a tired site. It's been vacant for a number of years. Although it has been vacant, it is a use that is contemplated in a zone, so it is not a pre-existing non-conforming use and does not lose its rights to reopen as a nightclub. But that is not the intention of the applicant. They would like to redevelop this site as a standard restaurant. A standard restaurant, as defined under the code, is something that is primarily to serve on-site meals, does have and accounts for a component of a bar, but can only be 25% of the square footage of the dining area. So it is not the intention to make it a nightclub. I belabor that point because, a lot of the neighbors in the community have expressed that concern. So I just want to make it very clear, it is not the intention. The other component of the application is to have an 18-hole mini golf. That basically gives you the existing site conditions and surrounding context. With that, I'd like to turn it over to Joe Spano. So he's one of the, he's a local builder, grew up as I did in West Hampton Beach. The group is made up of a bunch of local investors that would like to turn this site back into, a productive land use that meets the needs of the community. With that, I'll turn it over to Joe.
Mr. Collins.
Thank you, Kyle, and welcome board. Nice to meet you all. And as Kyle had mentioned, we're looking to develop it as a family style restaurant, very casual, with the miniature golf. The theme that we're trying to portray is the beach theme, being that we are in a beach community, and that hence the look of the building to appear like a number of cabanas, just like some of our seasonal beach resorts that we have along Dune Road. We're also proposing landscaping to bring in a beach theme, and also the atmosphere will be very beachy inside. We'll have a very casual dining restaurant. We're still trying to figure out the name and a number of additional things, but the look and the character of the building will be just very subtle, very kind of driftwood wood on the exterior to mimic some of the beach cabanas that we have in the area. And other that, I'll welcome any questions.
Well, one of the things before, can we see the design of it? Do you
Yeah, can
have-
we just, before, if you don't have any further questions for Joe, I'd like to have Peter make his presentation and go through the design of the building, more
Yeah,
detail.
because I'd like to hold the questions until the end.
Good, okay.
And Mr. Jankowski, since he's the lead, he'll start off with the questions.
Yeah, and just so you know, I did hear your comments in the beginning before the meeting started. I'll be happy to email those elevations over to Ted so he can
Good. Could you?
have an opportunity to review those.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like Joe was saying, is he's one of the clients that I was working for. They're going for sort of this beach theme. Originally, when they came to me, they had already taken on an architect, and they essentially have this thought of it being a wave or something to do with the beach. And we ended up on the concept of these old cabanas that are along the beach. So I'm just going to share my screen with you. Let's see. So here's one of the renders that we came up with. These aren't the final coloring, but essentially what we're seeing is we're going to do, it's essentially an L-shaped building with an area out back. You'll see this here. This is a big overhang out back. But this is the restaurant portion off this is the facade you'll see off of Montauk Highway. So essentially it's just sort of a flat facade. We're putting in these reveals to make all these little elements sort of read as individual cabanas. And when it's a nice day, all these doors will open up to sort of make it an indoor-outdoor restaurant. And then down here at the end, you have sort of the golf portion where we'll be, handing out the golf clubs, selling merchandise, and possibly even do a little take out food for the people at the golf course. At the far side, where you see this sort of brown material, it didn't really come into the render well, but that's sort of where the golf course will be located. We'll have a little seating, sand along the front. And then where you see these grasses, we'll probably have it'll probably be much taller, more ornamental grasses because we want to make this sort of back outdoor area a bit more private. As far as the coloring, as Joe was saying, it'll be more subdued than this, but we're thinking it will take on the character of like a Swordfish Beach Club. We want sort of the seafoam green, seafoam blues, but we want them to feel like they're individual little cabins. So it'll be mostly cedar. It'll be a mix of probably vertical and horizontal cedar lapboard. And then they'll be stained. We found this color, Minwax Vintage Blue. It's sort of very like a light blue, but it'll mostly read as cedar. And I think depending on which one of these little cabana elements it is, we'll do either one coat or two coat of them to sort of make them feel a little bit different, but obviously it's going to be one sort of cohesive building. And then to make it sort of read, we have this like sort of fun roof line, which is sort of the major element of it, which makes it not, sort of pulls it all together and sort of makes it feel a little bit fun, like it's going to be a, kid's place that you're going to. So I can show more renders around the building. I don't know if this is enough or.
Yeah, I would like to see more, please.
Let's see, I'm gonna. See if I can share a different program. So here's that same corner. We're moving around back. This is sort of the covered area out back. We'll see, have the exposed beams that will stay in the same color as the building. We'll probably have some service through these windows in the back to the interior bar. This is your entryway from the parking lot behind. This is sort of the entryway into the kitchen, so don't worry about that. That'll be closed off. This is a window into the kitchen. And then these little ornamental grasses will probably become much taller just to provide that privacy from the parking lot. Let's see.
Is Montauk Highway behind the parking lot?
So it goes parking lot, building, and then Montauk Highway. So you won't see the parking lot, or at least this portion of the parking lot from Montauk Highway. And most of it along Montauk Highway is going to be blocked by 3 to 4 foot dunes. We've got plans for sand dunes with ornamental grasses planted on top of them. So that's going to block a lot of the view, except for sort of where you turn into the parking lot. For some reason, I can't get this to go through. Let's see. Okay. So there's going to be one of the corners is going to be big open with glass. That's going to be the merchandising shop. That's where you'll have your golf clubs, sell little to-go snacks probably, and you'll, yeah, I don't know. That's going to be the main portion, main attraction for the golf course part of it. The other portion, the other side down here is going to be the whole restaurant. So the left side of this rendering is sort of where you come in from the parking lot. You're going to come up to this window here, get your golf clubs, golf balls, and then head on your way. This is the Montauk view. This will probably have some signage right here next to the main door. This is the main entry for the restaurant. So we'll have some sort of little awning, little signage. And then this is just an exterior door that allows people from the golf course to get in and use the bathroom facilities.
Okay.
Northeast corner. Yeah, I guess that's about it.
Okay, fine. Mr. Jankowski, do you have any comments on this?
Can I see a site plan just so I could see the whole thing all together?
Yeah,
Yeah.
let me share my screen. I got the site plan here.
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second. This is the site plan, Montauk Highway. Right here is going to be the main entrance. So here's the proposed restaurant. The corner where the access for the facilities associated with the mini golf. Here's the mini golf in this location with the parking lot that's going to be behind the existing building here. So that's generally the layout of the site plan. As Peter had talked about, and to further this kind of beach theme, there is a berm. The berms are going to be designed to look as if they are small dunes from the beach. So they're going to be planted with American beach grass, bayberry, probably some, Montauk daisies. The board has also asked us, there's an existing tree right here. And I'll show you the street view. That's that existing pitch pine here. And in the background here is the old, very tired building. But that dune area is going to be along on either side, fronting on Montauk Highway. And to jump back here, that tree is in this location. The planning board has asked us to put in a few more of the smaller pitch pines just to provide some additional screening of the mini golf component of the application. That's general rundown of the site plan.
Oh, Mr. Collins, we would like to see also color samples and samples of the materials for the building. I don't know. Did you hear that?
Yeah, no, I did. Yeah, no problem. I'm sorry. I was shaking my head. I guess you can't see it. Yeah.
No, I couldn't see it. Right.
I'm sorry, Mike. Yes, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, thanks. All right, Mr. Jankowski, any comments on this?
Yeah, so I can get the picture of it now. I see what your the theme is that you're going with the like the beach hut kind of like look to it. I see the parking stuff to the back. I like the outdoor seating. It's almost like it's like a John Scott's up here, like on Montauk Highway. I guess that's what we're kind of going with. You think all those colors, Kyle, like, is that the colors that we're going to go with? Those brights that we saw in the rendering, or are we doing something a little bit different?
Well, I'd leave that to Peter or Joe, but I guess generally that is the theme. But Joe and Peter, why don't you jump in?
Hi, Ted. Well, yes, we're trying to not make it as loud as some of the renderings, but we do want to create a little distinction between each little, what would appear as a cabana from the road. And as Peter had mentioned, each one of those cabanas has a wide door that can be opened just so the restaurant could feel more indoor outdoor. So we're going to create some sampling that we can certainly provide for the board, and we need to do it ourselves just to finalize it. But the colors that we did, like Peter mentioned, and maybe with different levels of coating, we can create some distinction between the two. And I think more than likely, if there's any exterior trim like the doors and things, it'll probably remain white. And the
Okay.
cedar, it's kind of like a board and batten look, where we're just going to use a rough sawn cedar plank, run it vertical, and just put a small batten on each seam, just to give it that board and batten look. So.
Okay. Yeah, I get the theme. I see the look. Obviously, it's going to be better than what we got right there right now. I guess I'd rather just, you know, I'll just go over the colors, I guess, like, you know, a little bit more. But I get it looks good. I like the idea of the cabanas, like all individual little cabanas. And like you said, I think you're going to have your beach grass. You're going to have some other stuff. So you're probably only going to see the pitches on these roofs pretty much from the road. But
Well,
it looks
yes,
it looks good for me.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah, those are actually just facades there. The main roof is flat, which can't be seen from the street, and
Yeah.
those facades kind of hide that look anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're doing it like my building then, same thing.
Yes.
All right. Comments, Mr. Burke?
No comments. I just would defer to Ted to take a look at the color schedule on, once we take a look at those color samples, but that's all.
Okay. Ms. Keys, comments?
Yes, actually. Obviously the color samples are crucial, and the signage, which of course you'd have to come before us again for. But I'm also curious as to I don't really have a visual of what the dunes on the road are going to look like. And if are they going to be supported? I don't know what that's going to look like. So I can't really see from this. This is very lovely. I love the idea, but I can't see what it's going to look like from the road.
Let me, if I may, just describe a little bit. Again, we are going to design them, but in effect, they are berm. There are regulations under the code as it relates to berm design. The maximum height of a berm is 4 feet, so it will not exceed 4 feet. But it has been designed not to be a straight berm to hide everything. It is designed to somewhat meander a little on the site, more like a natural dune does. So I just want to say, and then the slope on the berm, again, it's a standard under the code as it relates to requirements of berms, is the slope is going to be a 3-on-1 slope. So it'll have a gentle slope, go up to a maximum height of 4 feet. It will be planted on top of that 4 feet with, as I said, American beach grass, bayberry, beach plum, maybe some rose rugosa, some additional pitch pines as requested by the planning board. So it's not going to be this massive dune in front of here, but it will, it's really to incorporate the theme that we're trying to achieve to be kind of this beachy environment.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Chairman, can I just add something real quick? So Kyle, I'm picturing the, like at the airport, the way we did like that berm along the 31, where it has that little bit of pitch and it's got some plantings in it just to help Jules visualize.
Yeah, I would say, somewhat of like that. But again, we're talking, it's going to be sand instead of grass that you have there. But yes, generally it's going to be a berm. That is more of a linear berm. Like I said, we're going to try to meander it a little bit so it looks like it's kind of organic instead of this created straight berm across the front. But yeah, Ted, a good example of that.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you.
Okay. All right. My comments are, I wish this was on the beach, first of all.
So do we.
Really
So do we.
appropriate. You know, I'd like to see the samples, the colors and everything. I think it's a very novel idea. And I applaud the developers for what uses they want to use on this. But I'm going to go with the lead of the area regarding the design of it. So, and that's my comments on this. Any further comments from any of the board members?
No.
Now, if none, then this will be a transmittal letter going back to the planning board. Thank you all for the presentation. It's very complete.
Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you.
Board.
All right. Okay, the next, which we have on the agenda is JAB Properties, 299 County Road, 39A, North Sea. Ms. Keys, this is in your area. And are the applicants for this available?
Yep, it's coming in now.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Mike Shiano from InterScience on behalf of the applicant, and with me I have Greg Basmajian, the architect for the project.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to start the presentation to the board?
Yes, I'm just waiting for Greg to get all of his stuff hooked up.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not showing myself on the screen. Wait a minute. All right, well, I'm here.
Okay.
Good morning.
So just to put this into context, this is the Lexus dealership on County Road 39A, which is just located a little bit west of North Main Street. So this is the existing dealership. Just to briefly go over what the additions and changes to the building are. There is an existing area here and an existing area here that are going to be enclosed. So the first, the area on the left is a car display that is currently roofed over and but exterior, and that is going to be made into an interior car display area with glass, and Greg will go into that more in detail. And this on the right, is the service drop-off area, which will also be enclosed as part of this application. And behind the service drop-off area, there's the garage is going to be extended out to meet that new roof line. But as you can see from this view, it would be very difficult to see that extension on the back because the existing building and roof line is going to be used for these extensions. So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't. So you're lifting the roof line or no?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Greg, do you want to go into what the changes are?
Sure. Good morning, everyone. As Mike said, call it on the southeast corner is our existing roofed over area that we're going to enclose, and it's going to be basically extending the interior showroom. Then on the east of the building, the existing service drive is going to be enclosed and become a climate controlled space for drop off. And then the only true addition is in the north east corner, the workshop, which is basically going to, and if you look at the east facade, you'll see that it's basically, or actually, if you look at the north facade, it's going to match the existing workshop, and basically square off that northeast corner. Now, together with the additional square footage, Alexis Corporate, as do most automobile manufacturers, develop a new design concept that they expect all the dealerships to conform with. And the exterior of the building is requiring some alterations as well. And Alexis, again, and you may have seen this with other Lexus dealerships, they introduce metal panels on the exterior facade of their buildings. Our original submission to the planning board about a year ago had metal panels really encompassing the entire building, along with a blade wall. We did back off that. We understand blade walls are not something that is accepted in the town of Southampton. And we also backed off the metal panels in that we're trying to retain some of the design features that currently exist, namely the brick areas. And we introduced the metal panels really on the street facade. It does wrap on the east and west, but really above the existing storefront, call it the fascia of the building. So we're trying to satisfy two entities here, one being the town and one being Lexus Corporate. And that's what brought us to the design that you have in front of you. That is basically the description of the application. And again, if you
So just to note real quick, one of the things that I just I had looked through the County Road 39 design guidelines as we were going through and redesigning what the facade of this was going to be. We looked through the County Road 39 design guidelines, which were adopted by the town in August of 2014, and they even though that this is more of like a business highway area, the design guidelines specifically call out for three different for identifying three like levels of a building, so that it's not a contiguous mass, so that it kind of breaks up the visual areas of the building. So what the design guidelines called for is a base, middle, and top portions. So we've made sure to indicate what we believe would apply to those design guidelines on our plans, so that it's very clear that we are attempting to meet the design guidelines that the town has implemented for County Road 39 and County Road 39A, which is part of the same corridor. So I just want to make sure that was clear.
Okay, thank you. Comments, Ms. Keys?
Yeah. How many square feet are you adding to the building? Because it's hard to tell from this.
We are adding
5390, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So we are increasing. So the service addition area is being increased. I'm just trying to break out the actual increase in floor. So the increase in floor area is 5,390 square feet. But two parts of that. The existing display area is 1,261, and the existing drop off is 1,451. So the only actual. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this still has this stair of space. It goes like this, like this, like this, right? Yeah, from the design, I couldn't tell if you were bringing it all up to the front. But you're allowing it to continue to have this move, right? Or are you bringing it up to the front?
No, we are not extending the footprint at all on the front.
That was my question, because I saw it looking very different with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
that was my only question.
Yeah, the front, the extended showroom is already roofed over, so the structure is there. We're really adding the storefront. And
Now I
then
see.
similarly with the service drop-off, the roof structure is there. We're just putting walls around it to make it climate controlled.
I got it. That was my, I have another question. And what is the color, the facing, is it gray or is it black?
It's a little bit, it's a silver, and then call it a charcoal. And again, I can provide the board with actual samples.
Because I can't, are they different colors here, or is that just happening accidentally?
No, that they are different colors. The majority, again, is the silver color. And then there's that band, that horizontal band above the storefront that is like a charcoal. And again, I have physical samples I can provide the board with, so you actually see.
My only comment is that it's getting a little too many colors going on in the front. But I mean, I leave that to Mike, because he's got much more of an aesthetic point of view with this kind of thing. But that's my only comment from a visual, but otherwise it's.
Okay, yes, we would like to see the samples also.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah, if you could drop those off. Comments, Mr. Burke?
No other real comments, I guess, except, we definitely want to see what the sample of the silver for the metal roof that's going to be painted silver. Otherwise, I would just try to require that, where applicable on this plan, that everything stays matching to the existing, I guess, those brick panels and such. So as much as we can keep in matching with the existing, I'm good with everything else.
Okay. Comments, Mr. Jankowski?
Yeah, I think it looks good. It looks like they're upgrading all the dealerships, like along that area. We let Audi, Porsche, BMW. So it just seems like it's gone down the line. I'm okay with the looks, because it is a big building, so it's kind of it breaks it up a little bit, having the different colors. So I think it looks all right.
Okay, fine. And I would like to see the samples to make sure the metal is non-reflective, which, as Mr. Jankowski brought out with the other dealerships, that's one of the things we did, is to make sure that when they used metal or a silver color, that it was mainly non-reflective. From what you're putting on the addition, I don't believe it's even going to be seen. It's to the back, so I don't have any problem with it. I think it's fine, but like I said, I'd like to see the colors and the samples. Okay, is there any further comments from the applicants at all?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure to note that there is a sales prep bay, which is a zero discharge car wash just for washing the cars that are sold. That's going to be in the back of the building. I just want to make sure that we note that to the board, and that per the comments and request of the planning department, the colors of this building are going to match the colors of the brick. We can't actually make it brick because of just design and more of build quality details to make sure that it is good to use as a car wash building. But it's going to be in the back, and you won't be able to see it from the street. But I just want to make sure to note that we're proposing that. So.
Thank you.
Okay, fine. Well, as soon as we look at the materials and everything and the colors, there'll be a transmittal letter sent to the planning board.
Okay. And who should we send the samples to?
The ARB recording secretary, Miss Catherine Shimon.
Okay. Will do.
And she just put her hand up, if you could see it.
Let me see the top of it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right. The next on the agenda is a residential at 99 Crescent Street in Noyak. And this is one that we had at the last meeting as a preliminary. And it got finally reviewed by the building department. That's why we have to have it on the agenda now. And this was one that came in online. That's why I'm handling it. Normally it'd be Mr. Rump, and I have consulted Mr. Rump on this, and he gave his comments at the last meeting. I reviewed the materials and what they sent, and I really don't, they did mainly what we wanted according to the minutes. And I don't see a difficulty with it. The only problem is the landscape plan. They understood because of the septic system, they can't put any trees, but they were going to put grasses, but they didn't indicate the height of the grasses. And that's one thing I'd like to reserve an approval on once they get that landscape plan with the height of everything that they indicated in it. So, all right, comments, Mr. Jankowski?
I'll go with your recommendations on that. This is the one we reviewed last meeting, that the house that's kind of on the water there in Noyak.
Correct.
Yep. Okay. So if they did what we asked, then I'm going with your recommendation.
Okay. Yeah, they sent samples, everything. Okay. Ms. Keys, comments?
Agreed with Ted.
Okay. Mr. Burke, comments?
Well, I agree with you, Mike. And, this is a changing neighborhood over in Noyak, and but definitely agree with taking a look at what those grass screenings will entail. Yeah.
Okay, the applicants are here now. I see them on. Yeah, is it possible to clarify how high these are? The landscape plan you submitted?
I apologize for not putting the size of Mike Gentili, architect for this project. The Miscanthus gigantus, which is the giant Miscanthus grasses that we're calling for in those three areas on the front, those things are seasonal, and they start off as about a 1 foot high that goes through the winter, and then they go up to about 4 feet, 5 foot tall in the summer every year. The rest of the grasses in zone 1 that are indicated are all, we're calling for 1 gallon plants, which vary in height depending on how they grow that year. The hollies, which is the inkberries, which are in the front as well, would probably be 4 to 5 foot. And now those are evergreens that would be green all year to provide some screening in the front yard.
Okay, one of the things we're going to have is, if you could stop by town hall, you can use the plan that you submitted and just indicate exactly which one is where and how high.
Well, they're indicated on the plan. I just have to add the size on the.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's not on the
list.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that would be okay. And any other discussion from the board on this? And any discussion from the public? Any comments? None from the public? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve this?
I'll make a motion to approve.
With the stipulation they put the plans. Okay.
Yeah, with the stipulation that the height of the plants is indicated.
Right. Okay, do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
As soon as you get those notations on, it'll be finalized and approved.
All right, I'll drop them off tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, any further comments from any of the board members? All right, if not, then we've we handled all of the items on the agenda. And do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, and do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Julie?
Okay.
Aye.
Yeah, okay, fine. Ted, I'm not gonna bother him, so, okay. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly. Thanks, Charles.